Hey guys, Zen here, welcome back to the channel, and for this week's top 5 decks to use in the Fusion World client. However, they aren't just going to be the top 5 decks you're going to see in the client, and instead we're actually picking some of this week and a little bit of last week's top 5 topping decks, I guess, if you will, in recent tournaments. Some of these got first place, some of these got second, some of these were even top 4, and some of these are kind of spicy. So let's get started with the GT Goku deck list. Now, if you don't know, GT Goku is the brand new black leader that has the activate main once per turn. For 1 energy, you can choose up to one of your battle cards and then boost them by either 10k or 15k, dependent on the energy you use. If it's just a regular energy, it's 10k, and if you use your energy marker, that card gets plus 15k power until the end of your opponent's next turn, which listen, Beerus is not too happy about that. You cannot damage reduce enough with this kind of buff. Now, this is pretty much a staple Goku, not Goku Black, a GT Goku deck list, but a couple cards here that I find very interesting. There's 3 actually. First up is this Son Goten, and mind you, this is a first place deck list right here. This 2-cost Son Goten has Win Awakening. If you have an energy marker, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 2 or less and KO it, which I guess is pretty good for removal and has found a ton of value in this deck. And then also, like, if you're not getting value out of this, you're still getting value with the 10k combo. Another card, I honestly did not think anyone would ever play this promo Son Goku GT, but apparently they do. This one has the on play, it gets an extra 5k power for the turn. Then if you don't have an energy marker, give yourself an energy marker. So I guess for the fact that it procs an energy marker for you, that's pretty good, right? For 4 energy. I still think these are better. Honestly, I would definitely drop the promo for another one of these, but maybe I'm wrong, right? This does give you 5k combo, and again, this is a tournament winning deck list. And then the other very fascinating pick is this one, Frieza. Again, I did not think we would ever see any sort of play with this Frieza card, but it also is a 4-cost with 25k battle power. When attacking, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 or less and Saiyan in its special traits and KO it. Then if you have an energy marker, choose up to 1 field in your opponent's battle area and place it in the owner's drop. Now, I can see this being really good, especially countering yellow, because yellow has, especially like Majin Buu, has slowly been coming back on the rise. Not as fast as I'd like to. When I say slowly, it's pretty slowly, but we do have a yellow leader on today's list, and I'm very happy about it, but we'll get more on that later. And then we also have, you know, things like Satan City, which kind of has fallen off, to be honest. We have our Tournament of Power. We have, what else do we have? The Cell Games Arena, Android, right? All those field cards. Yeah, sorry. And then also the other, for black, what is it? The Bardock's crew. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the one that lets you scry the top 2 cards of your deck. Yeah, this thing gets rid of that. So I guess it does have some value. But yeah, everything else in this deck looks like pretty standard. You have your Kakarot's here. A lot of the cards that you typically run 4 copies of, this deck is running 3 copies of. Your Secret Rare, your Double Striker. You do have 4 Bardocks, your 3 Kakarot's, and your 3 Dr. Mews, 4 Para Brothers, and 2 Pans. But yeah, this is a pretty solid deck list. But now let's move on to the next one, and that's going to be the yellow deck list. And Frieza is back on the rise. I think I already made a video on the channel. You should go check it out. I played this deck. It is insane. It's actually so good, and I'm so happy that Frieza is coming back to the top. This deck, I'm pretty sure got first place in 2 tournaments in the past week. One was an online tournament. The other one, I think, was an in-person tournament. So Frieza, if you don't know, I mean, I don't blame you. It's been a while since Frieza was pretty relevant. Has the end of turn ability where they choose up to 2 of the opponent's 2 of your battle cards, and you get to switch them back to active mode at the end of your turn. Now, this is running the Ginyu package. So on turn 1, you want to play things like this Ginyu, potentially this Sorbet, keep them on the field. Then you play your Self-Awakening Frieza. Now you have 2 Frieza's army. And then by turn 3, you play a Raccoon, bring out this Ginyu. This Ginyu brings back 2 of your energies. And now you have 2 free energies to play something like a Zarbon. And you have a 420k bodies on the board by turn 3, which is pretty insane. We have 2 copies of the anti-removal SR Vegeta, which is pretty good. 2 copies of Majin Buu. This is good into green. This is going to be good into blue. It's very situational. I like how this deck isn't over maximizing those cards and instead is focusing on building your board and just going super aggro. We have 3 copies of the Son Goku here, 3 copies of the Majin Vegeta, 2 copies of the Golden Frieza. Now this is something I would want to switch in this deck. I think I would be more comfortable running double strikers, but I could be wrong here. Again, this got first place. 4 super combos and 4 final explosions because this card is insane for removal. It's so good in this deck. But yeah, that's going to be the 4th deck for this week. Let's move on to deck number 3, and it's another black leader. We have Bardock. Listen, Bardock is so good. It's a staple deck right here. Like, look at this. You have your 4 copies of your secret rare, 3 copies of your Bardock. This thing is so good because of its ability. Not only does it become a 25k body that swings, but it also lets you look at the top card of your deck, combo with it for free so it doesn't have to come out of your hand, or you can bottom deck it so that way it helps you kind of scry through your deck, get to the cards that you really need to get to. For example, let's say the top card was a Fascia and then the card under it was a double striker and you would have never known, right? So you swing, you combo with your Fascia the following turn, or maybe you have one to play, whatever, yada yada yada. You're essentially, the point is you're getting to the cards that matter quicker, and I think that makes this deck so terrifyingly strong. And I'm actually having a ton of fun playing Bardock. Honestly, Bardock and Frieza are the most fun for me on ladder currently. All right, let's go to the next 2 that I have no fun with. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, this Android's top 5 decks of the week list right here is so spicy. I'm finally excited to see some new stuff. Everything is pretty standard. We're dropping things like the Future Trunks to run 4 copies of this Vegeta that helps you ramp. But let's talk about the other cards that are interesting in this deck. We have Earth Destroying Blow, which is a really good card to boost up one of your cards or ramp for you. It's also an Android card, so it synergizes with your leader. We have 2 copies of the secret rare Son Gohan Youth that helps us ramp, but also once we're at 8 energy, turns us into the most terrifying thing in the entire game, because already at 6 or more energy, you're swinging for 30k. And then on top of that, with this Gohan card, you get the permanent ability of plus 20k. You're swinging for 50k with your leader. That is insane. Imagine getting both of them on the board. I think your opponent might just like concede at that point, just GG's, right? You're swinging for 70k. That's insane. And then instead of running the typical Broly, this deck is running another Android, being Cell. I really like the maximizing of Android subtrait here in this deck. Also, you get rid of 2 of your opponent's cards. You do remove 3 of your energy cards, but with your like 4 drops and stuff like this, you're ramping left and right. So I really like this variation of Androids. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. But with that, let's go to another deck that I'm seeing way too often, and it's super annoying. I would be very happy if we stopped seeing this. But listen, if you like playing Vegeta, good for you. It's a strong leader. It's really strong. But a couple cards that I think are pretty fascinating. I think I talked about this in our other video. Hand right here. Draw 2, then discard 2 from your hand. That helps you get to your cards much quicker. And if you discard cards from your hand, it's not a big deal, especially when you have cards like your 4 Pilaf that bring them back, or your 3 copies of Videl here that also bring them back, as long as they're a cost 3 or less and they're Earthling. So if you're using Pan to discard those cards, or you can even use Pilaf and Videl to bring back your Pan and continually draw cards that you need. This thing is insane. The only thing I would worry about is potentially milling yourself out. But I mean, let's be honest. As long as by turn 5, you should be closing out games. Turn 6, the latest, you're winning. You're winning based off of your leader's ability and all your cards alone, and just being able to control the board. through that aspect. It's actually, yeah, I can see why people play Vegeta. It is a very dominant leader. But there you guys have it. That is this week's top 5 decks of the week. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.